solo, just you and me. And I picked this topic on purpose because I think it's one of the most important things we can talk about as parents. And honestly, one of the most avoided. So pour your cup of coffee, take a breath, and let's get into it. Cheers. All right, so today's episode is all about what to do after you overreact with your kid. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It just happened to me last week. It's going to happen to every parent who's ever been sleep deprived, overwhelmed, or had one too many things go sideways on the same day, or maybe afternoon on a Tuesday, maybe. The question isn't whether you ever lose it. The question is what to do next. And that's what we're going to do today. All right, so let's do a little dad joke to make things fun. All right, before we get into this one, I have a warm up joke for you. Why did the parent apologize to the math book? Hmm. Because they caused too many problems. Okay, okay. So let's get into it. See how I modeled the apology? We're already learning. Let's get into it. Let me say something up front that I want you to really hear. The overreaction is not a defining moment. I'll say it again. The overreaction itself does not define you as a parent. What defines you is what you do after. That's it. That's the whole episode in one sentence. But hey, let's keep on listening. So let's make sure you actually know what to do and how to do it, because most people get either skip past it completely or they do a version of an apology that quietly makes things worse. So let's do a real life example here. Picture this: it's 6:30 p.m. You've had back-to-back meetings. Dinner is burning on the stove. Oh my gosh! You ask your kid for the fourth time to please put their phone down and set the table. They roll their eyes and they say, "In a sec," and you snap. Voice raised, sharp words, the whole thing. Your kid goes quiet. They put the phone down not because the moment was handled well. They put it down because the room just got scary. That's the moment where that's the moment we're talking about. That's right after. What do I do now? Here's the good news. That moment, the one right after, is actually a doorway. And how you walk through it will teach you and your kids something they will carry on with them for the rest of their life. Let's talk through that or walk through that the right way. So, step one. This is non negotiable. Cool down before you approach them. I know it feels counterintuitive. You feel terrible. You want to fix it immediately. You want to rush in and make it right. But an apology, but an apology delivered while you're still activated is not an apology. It's more it's more just more chaos with a story attached to it. So what does this really look like in life? Well, after snapping on your kid, you feel that rush of regret, and your first instinct is to walk right back into the room and say, "Look, I'm sorry," but and you're still tense, still using a sharp tone, can carry the stress from the day. Your kid can feel all of it. It doesn't land as an apology; it lands as round two. Instead, take 50 minutes, go outside, take 5 deep breaths, text a friend, whatever helps you to generally shift gears. Then go back in. Here's the thing: you cannot model emotional regulation while skipping it yourself. When you're calm, you're credible. So, step one is simple: take the time, don't rush the apology just to feel better. Do it when you can genuinely mean it. All right, sounds good. Let's go step two. And this one is physically as much as an emotional one. Go to them. Don't wait for them to come to you. This is the one of those small actions that carries enormous weight. Because when you are the one who walks down the hall, knocks on that door, and sits down at their level, you are communicating something before you've even opened your mouth. You are saying the relationship matters more than my ego. So let's do a real life example. Look at your teenager has gone to the room and shut the door, or more likely, probably slammed the door hard. The old temptation is to think, I'll let them cool off and then I'll come out when they're ready. But an hour goes by, they don't come out for dinner, the silence gets heavy. Here's the move: you go to them, you knock on the door, say, hey, can I come in for a minute? Maybe say, maybe they'll say yes, maybe they'll shrug it off. Either way, you showed up. You didn't make them come to you and perform a forgiveness on your timeline. You went to them. So, knock on the door, sit at their level, not standing over them. Put the phone face down somewhere they can see you did it. These tiny physical signals tell them or tells your child, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm not rushing past this. All right. Sounds good. All right. Another dad joke? Yeah. All right. We're halfway through the steps. Two more to go after this. So time for a reset. This one is relevant, I promise. Why did the dad knock on his kid's door after the argument? Because he finally realized he needed to work on his knock apology skills. Get it? Knock apology. Knock apology. My daughter would leave the room, which is, to be fair, is what started this whole conversation. Right, moving on to step three, guys. And this is where most parents accidentally torpedo their own apology. Own it specifically. And for the love of all things parenting, drop the word but. I'm serious about this. The moment you say, I'm sorry, but I was stressed, or I'm sorry, but you were listening, you just canceled your apology. The word but as an eraser. I guess so. Depends how you look at the but. Anything. Anyway, everything before it disappears, your child only hears that second half. So, what's the difference? Let's do a but apology means. I'm sorry I raised my voice, but you keep ignoring me when I ask you to do things. So what your kid hears is actually your fault. So what your kid hears, it was actually your fault. A real apology. And here's an example. I raised my voice at you, and that wasn't okay. I'm sorry. What your kid hears, my parent sees what they did and is talking responsibly. One of these heals the moment, the other reopens it. So try that this week with your kids. See what happens. And there's another version of fake apology you want to watch out for. The conditional one. I'm sorry if you felt hurt. That little word if does the same thing as a but. It puts the responsible back on your child's feelings instead of your actions. A real apology names the behavior. I raised my voice. That was wrong. I'm sorry. Full stop. The conversation about what led there can happen later, separately. Right now, this is just owning your part. Okay, so step four is the one that takes a decent apology and turns it into a great one. And most parents skip it completely. And if you owned your own behavior, I want you to take one more step. Name that fault. Name name what they felt, not just what you did, but what your child experienced in the moment. So what does that sound like? After owning your behavior, you add, that probably felt really scary when I raised my voice like that. Or you didn't deserve to be spoken that way. I can see you're hurt. Or even just, I imagine that you felt awful and I'm really sorry you had to experience that. This extra layer tells your child something powerful. You don't see them as your own mistake. You see them, and this is different. This is the difference between an apology that closes the wound and one that actually heals it. All right. So kids, especially tween and teens, are consistently wondering if their feelings are valid. When you name what they felt, you answer that question without them having to ask for it. You are saying you are experienced, you experience, and it really matters. And I see it. That's the second layer of apology. Don't skip it. All right. So step five here, and I'd argue this one is the hardest. After apology, stop talking. Give them space to respond, and genuinely let them respond, even if the response is messy, uncomfortable, or not what you're hoping for. Let them explain their own feelings, right? So, what does that sound like in real life? Your kid might say it's fine when it's clearly not fine yet. Let it go. They're processing. They might stay completely silent and shrug. That's okay too. The silence doesn't mean it didn't land. They might cry. Sit with them. Don't rush the fix the feelings. They might say something like, "You always do this." The one thing that takes a breath. Don't get defensive. Just say, "You're right to feel that way. I'm working on it." This response alone will teach them more about emotional maturity than any other lecture could. So this is the urge to feel the science, to explain yourself, to rush toward, are we good? And all of that is about comfort, not theirs. They're your comfort, not theirs. Let let the repair land. Give them room to feel it. The silence is not a sign that you didn't work. The silence is often exactly where the healing begins and happens. All right, let's do another dad joke. Okay, this is the last one, and I'm saving the best for last. All right, at least relevant. All right, I asked my daughter if she forgave me after I overreacted last week. She said, "Dad, I'll still think about it." And honestly, that was fair. That was accountability. She learned that from somewhere, okay, maybe we're coming something out right after all. We're doing something right after all, right? Right. Let's put down all 5 steps together in one real apology. I want you to hear what that sounds like when it's done. You can even pause here, write it down, or perhaps you can leave me a message. I can send you a quick summary of what that looks like, give you some questions, and that, if you like, just message me. I can send that over to you. I've been thinking about what happened earlier, and I wanted to come to talk to you. I raised my voice at you at the table, and that wasn't okay. You didn't deserve to be spoken to that way. I imagine that felt unfair and maybe a little scary. I was frustrated and how the day was going, but that's on me to manage. I'm genuinely sorry. How are you feeling? Pause here. That's it. 5 steps in 6 sentences. No buts, no conditions, no rushing to the end. Just ownership. Acknowledge their experience and open a door to let them respond. So, so this is how you can use a script like this if you like. I've been thinking about it. Shows intention, not just a reaction. Number 2, I raised my voice and that wasn't okay. Names behavior specifically. 3, you didn't deserve that. I imagine that felt unfair. Names the experience. Number 4, that's on me to manage. Takes full ownership, no shift, blaming. 5, I'm genuinely sorry. Clean and direct. 6, how are you feeling? Opens the door instead of closing it. All right, let's sum it up today. Before we go, I want to say something that I think is really important. Apologizing to your kid or child. Really, apologizing. The way we talked about today does not make you look weak. It doesn't undermine your authority, it builds it. Because authority that can never admit fault isn't authority. It's just control. And control, you might have noticed, tends to make teenagers do the exact opposite of what we're hoping for. I'm sure you noticed that. Children don't need perfect parents. What they need is parents who show them what it looks like to be wrong and make it right. Every single time you repair a moment like this, you are teaching your child that relationships can survive hard things, that love doesn't disappear when someone messes up, that people who matter most in your life will come back and make it right. That's not a small thing, that's everything. So if you're sitting with a moment right now that you wish you could take back, go make it right. Use the 5 steps above. And if you don't remember them, just message me. I'll send them over to you. Be the parent your kid needs to in be in the after and not just the before. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you. Go get it. That's our episode for this week. If it hit home with you, you can share it with another parent who needs to hear it today. You can find us on most of the major podcast platforms if you want to reach out. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a uh, comment to get the free uh, 5 steps for conversation, and like and subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, also do the same. Just leave a comment. I can send over the 5 steps of conversations for that for you. That's it. That's it. You can find if you just if you also want to subscribe to the parentsupportcircle.com, you can do that. And I will see you guys next week. And hopefully RJ will be back with us.